Hey everybody! Well, hasn't this been an exciting week? First of all, I Platinum GT Sport, and then we get news of GT7 and some footage too. Incredible times. So a lot to talk about. I've got 11 minutes to do it, so let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and it's been such a great week for me. I finally managed to achieve my goal of Platinum GT Sport, and it's been a long road. I've learned a lot along the way, and I thought I'd share some tips, information, and how to do this without cheating. By the way, I did not cheat to do this, which is awesome, and I'll show you this. So I'm really pleased to platinum this game. I set out about a year ago to actually get the platinum trophy because I previously platinumed GT6, and I really wanted to platinum this game. Even though it was very hard to do, I knuckled down and I got into it. So I set out on a long journey to practice, get better, and race, and just hone my racecraft and my qualifying and learn. So here's the trophy here, and I will show you my stats as well, and you'll see that I finished 96% of all my races, and 92 wins, 69 pole positions as well, and a leading lap rate of 26.1%. It's not too bad, I thought, not too bad at all. I raced this in the B category, and as you can see here, I only had one rank reset, and that was a long time ago. I had a very bad day, but ever since then, steadily climbing, falling a little bit, and just kind of raced in like the B series as well, because I didn't see any point of pushing right to A or trying to get to A plus whilst trying to learn, hone racecraft and win races. So with this in mind, I feel that when you're driving or getting good results in GT Sport, I feel the matchmaking system and the DR actually puts you up too high and too fast, because you're still learning. And if you get like a week of good race results in a particular race, you can easily quite shoot up from, like, let's say from C to A in not too long at all. So I've mixed this with other footage, guys. This is some Project Cars footage as well, whilst I just talk about this too. And we'll come back to some GT footage at the end. But my thoughts on this is, yeah, the DR system, it really puts you up there far too fast. Now you're learning, you want to win races. So I didn't take my DR too seriously. I just raced to enjoy it, and more often than not, I would race races from the back just for fun. And I just would not care about my DR. But the SR is very important, and not quitting races is important too. So if you keep your SR right up at 99, your safety record, you will get the best clean races possible, and that goes through all categories mostly. Now, my plans for moving on from here is to improve myself as a driver and hit A again, and I want to hit A+. I want to race with even faster guys. And the theory about this is, the more you race with the faster guys, the faster you get yourself. So now that I've achieved the goal of platinum the game, I now want to grow as a driver. I want to improve. I want to really get up there. Will I ever be an alien who sets all the best times in the game? No, I don't think so. But I think everyone has a lot of room to improve. Practice does make perfect in this case. And GT Sport is the best multiplayer racing online game for PlayStation 4, hands down. You've got games like this, like Project Cars, and they're good for the experience of racing, driving, feeling the car on the edge. But in terms of the online capabilities, GT Sport will teach you a lot more, I feel, than a game like Assetto Corsa or Project Cars would. But having said that, all these games do different things. So I focused on GT Sport mainly. I just wanted to practice and qualify better, to hone the racecraft so I wasn't crashing, you know, to work on consistency. That was very important for me. And my consistency and pace now is right at the level where I need to be. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to work on more speed. I'm going to push through and try and take at the top. So that's what I did. I basically knuckled down. I grinded my way to level 50. I drove every single meter of getting there. I would frequently grind Blue Moon Bay, and I have a video of me doing so on my channel. If you guys are wondering how to get to level 50 the fastest, there are other ways you can do it as well. You can run the race at Monza No Chicane with the Group 1 cars. That's quite a fun one to do as well, and it gives you a break from just tediously going around in circles in Blue Moon Bay. So if you want a good race to run, that's a good one too in the GT League section. However, yeah, I got to level 50 like a year ago, and ever since then I've been working on getting faster with online. Now, playing GT5 and GT6, that was my first real taste of online racing, and obviously I've played different games since then. But Gran Turismo is where the best racing is. So that brings us on nicely to the next game, GT7. So we had this big announcement that GT7 is, coming, GT7. However, I was a little bit perplexed why there wasn't a date attached to the actual video. I thought the gameplay looked great. We had trial mounting back, of course. There were like a few teases in the video of the changeable weather, the time of day. Well, not so much the changeable weather, that's kind of subjective and my opinion. But the time of day change is definitely in there for sure. So it's a return to the old school GTs, the ones we played years and years ago. If you're like me, you've been around since like GT1, maybe you haven't, maybe GT5 or GT Sport was your first GT game. But we are going back to an old school kind of GT, the one where there's a ton of single player content to be had there, and with snippets of online as well. So I'm kind of curious whether they will have the actual sport mode on GT7, or will it be on GT Sport? I assume it wouldn't still be on GT Sport, but you never know. We didn't see an actual GT Sport menu in there apart from the one that said GT Sport Live, which, if you know GT Sport well, is just the place where you watch the footage in game. It's not actually where you race GT Sport. So without seeing a GT Sport type matchmaking system or menu in there, I'm not quite sure at this point. However, I thought the game looked really good. It was a little bit of a visual step up from this. I mean, obviously they're still going to put more polish into it. The UI was exactly the same, the racing dials as such. But I think it's going to be a great game, and plus it's going to be on PS5, so it's going to have a lot more power. The frames per second, they must be a lot higher than what we get here. Even though we get 60 frames per second in Gran Turismo Sport, I think Kaz was aiming for something like 144 frames per second on the next gen consoles. So it's definitely going to be one to get. He did not stay in the trailer when it was going to come. A lot of those games in the actual event, PlayStation event, said like Holiday 2020. So Holiday 2020, I don't think is going to come at the end of this year. I could be wrong, but I would say maybe next year at some point. But I still think it'd be worth investing in the PS5, buying it, when you can afford it. I'm going to save here for one and pick one up at my earliest possibility. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get the disc-less version or the one with the disc drive yet. I think, to be honest with you, I'll just get whichever one's cheapest because I'm not that bothered. I mean, I've got a girlfriend here and we're going to have two anyway. So we're going to have to save for two at some point, regardless. So whatever we get for there, it will be worth it. So yeah, that's going to come, and that's great news for us. I'm hoping the peripherals that we have now, all the racing wheels we have, will simply carry over and will be compatible with the PlayStation 5. I believe they would be. I think the architecture between the PS3 and the PS4 was kind of a big step, and it was kind of difficult for them to get it working, or with an adapter you can get it working these days. Or maybe they just want to make more money. Probably the latter, knowing companies these days. But anyway, that's going to come. We can use the new joypad as well. If you're a joypad user, you've got haptic feedback with the controls. So that means you can make the brake, let's say, you can make it a lot harder to push down with the accelerator to give you a better braking feel. So I think the console looks great. The control looks great. I think the add-ons for it look really cool too. I think the machine is way better looking than the Xbox. I think the Xbox looks like a pub ashtray. It just looks like a, it's just no, just no. So it's got to be PlayStation 5. It's the new Xbox, just no. The Gran Turismo is PlayStation 5 anyway. But look, I'm waffling on. End of the day, I would like to say that I'm looking forward to GT7. I think it's going to be good, but I'd temper your expectations. I wouldn't expect anything too major a step from GT Sport. So don't expect lots of cars on track. I wouldn't expect lots of different features. I would expect just more of the same. So I'd say temper your expectations and see where it goes. But anyway guys, I'm at the end of my time. So thank you very much for watching. I hope I've been able to provide some good content for you. So please feel free to like, subscribe, share, and I will see you next time. This is TJ. Take care.